Hey you guys, I just woke up from my nap. I'm extremely tired. But I want to touch base on some topics really quick. Um, Regarding a few things. Okay, so um, this particular person has a problem with me filming where I'm going, what I'm doing. Let's get into that really quick. This particular person is a stalker. This person wants to put it all on me. Okay, well, I've come with receipts on her crap. Okay, I have receipts of this person's crap and their stalking behavior. Okay, you guys need to be appropriate. Okay, appropriate. I'm not answering none of that crap. That's ridiculous. Anyways, so with that being said, this person in particular always wants attention. Okay, so let me get to the very, this is like maybe like the fucking 8th time that I've mentioned the beginning of this entire freaking thing because she doesn't want to let me go. And it's very weird. Hello you guys. Hello. Welcome in. So I'm going to state the beginning of it all. I'm pretty sure I made a live video stating the actual beginning of it a few fucking times. It's ridiculous that I have to do it again because she's trying to have me harmed, it seems like. But let's get to the beginning of it all, shall we? I've done this video about 38 times, for crying out loud, and it's starting to become ridiculous. Okay, it's starting to become ridiculous. People that have known me for basically my entire life have heard this this beginning about 30, maybe 40 times already, and they're just sick of it. They are sick of it, to be honest with you guys. The time right now is 10:18. I am home in my apartment. But let's get to the beginning of it. This person does not have a right to be anywhere near my door. This person doesn't have a right to be anywhere near me. Okay? And don't make me pull out the receipts on this crap too. So Salvador, I'm gonna be honest, Salvador and Abel do know the beginning of this. Obviously, she doesn't know the beginning of this, but Salvador and Abel, my Marine and his brother, do know the beginning of this. You can't lie to them, because before this girl even came around into this other guy's life that I was with at the time, I let Salvador know what was going on. I also let another guy know what was going on, because this man was abusing me. Okay, this man's name is Christopher Zantina. He was very abusive. In the beginning of the relationship, I can say he was not abusive. And then after a year, he became extremely abusive. He busted my eyebrow, busted my eyelid, busted my lip, broke my hand, purposely broke my hand because I wasn't doing what he wanted me to do. So many years, for about 3 years, I dealt with abuse from this man. Okay, and I can honestly say he did cheat on me a few times. And towards the end, I was trying to get away from him. I was trying to get away from him 100%. He did cheat on me with the girl named Cynthia. I'm not going to say her last name, but he did cheat on me with that girl. Me and my friend Savannah were going over there, and I'm pretty sure people that went to high school with me remember Savannah. She went to high school with me. We were really good friends. And from there, Savannah was coming over to Christopher's house for barbecues and get-togethers and stuff like that, because she also lived in Orville at that time. Okay, well, mind you, for about 3 years of me and Christopher's relationship, he never locked the door. He not one time locked that door. Every time he knew I was going there, he always kept the door open. So this particular time, he was not keeping the door open. And I found that kind of strange, because for 3 years, you got to mind you, for 3 years, he would keep that door open. Mind you. So when I tried to open the door, it wasn't opening. That's when I heard a giggle from that room, his room. I heard a giggle, and then I heard, oh shit. I was like, what the fuck? And Savannah was like, what the fuck was that? I said, you heard that, right? She's like, yeah. So I kept knocking on the door, kept knocking on the door, kept knocking on the door. Nothing. Called his phone, nothing. So I'm like, you know what, whatever, we're just gonna leave. You feel me? So we left, went to our house, tried to call him, tried to go over there again, knocking on the door, nothing. So I'm like, you know what, whatever. So I was like, just take me home. So she took me home. Okay. So the next week, I knock on the door. And this time, I wasn't having it. Okay, mind you, I stayed there until he opened the door. And when he opened the door, when you know your man has been cheating, because you can smell it in the air. You can smell it in the air. That's what it was. And every girl knows that smell. It means he's been doing the deed with somebody. There's another female in that fucking house. So I went directly to the room. That's where I seen her. And I asked him, who the fuck is this? That's when I seen Cynthia. And I asked him, who the fuck is this? He's like, that's my girlfriend. Who? He's like, that's my girlfriend. And she's like, hi, I'm Cynthia, and who are you? Mind you, I've been with this man for 4 years at this point. 4 years. And she has the audacity to ask me who I was. So I continue to tell her who I am. So, that's weird. I've never seen you. Mind you, me and my friend Savannah have been there. So, it became a huge problem. Because the next day, as I invite, Savannah over for a barbecue, she comes over while me and my friend Savannah are there because he told her it was okay. At this point, I felt absolutely disrespected. So I chose to leave him, mind you. I left and I stayed gone after that. Okay, mind you, one thing that really gave me a clue was when he told me to go check the mail, because I'm the one that was checking the mail always. I'm the one that was checking the mail. And so he got a package in the mail, and he's like, "Go ahead, open it." Okay. Mind you, he knew my size. He's like, "Oh, I got you shorts." They were an extra small. He knew I was an extra small. At the time, he knew that I was a medium. None of his sisters were an extra small. So that was clue number 1. Clue number 2 was smelling another girl's perfume on the blankets, which I didn't say anything of. But I definitely smelt it. So it's just a matter of time where he was going to, fuck up real bad. Well, he did. So I left. Mind you, before I leaving, she takes him in the back, mind you. Mind you, she takes him in the back room. And then she comes into the living room, and I tell her to leave. I tell her to fucking leave. And so as she's leaving, she decides to call the police. Okay. This is where I found out that she a bull-faced liar, and she a little cop caller. She likes to lie to the police. So she tells the police, while we're in Orville, that I'm holding Christopher hostage. Mind you. She told him that I was keeping him hostage in his own mother's house. Mind you, this man was abusing me for 3 years. And he's a lot bigger than me. You gotta imagine, I'm like 5 foot. I'm like 90 pounds, maybe 100 pounds at most. This man is legitimately 250, weighs legitimately 250 pounds. There's no way I could keep him hostage in his mother's house. Okay? And the police come out, and the police are talking with us, and mind you, he's in his mom's house. If he really wanted to, he can tell me to leave because it's his mother's house and I would have gone. But mind you, I tried to leave. And he stood in front of the door. And he straight said, "You're not going anywhere." That's keeping me hostage. Okay? Mind you. And so the police came out and the police were like, we got a disturbance call saying that you were holding Christopher hostage. Is that true? I said, "No, officer." I said, "This is his mother's house." I said, "He's standing right there." And the police officer looks in and says hi, and Christopher says hi. And the officer asks him, "Is everything okay here?" He says yes. Christopher says yes. And mind you, she was mad because I told her to get the fuck out of his mother's house. Because if his mother didn't text me saying it was okay for her to be in the house, she can't be in that house. Mind you, I was in the house for 3 years, like 4 years practically, okay? For 4 years. A lot of people know this. I know his neighbor down the street was my friend that I went to school with, okay? His name was Paul, and his sister Sarah. I went to school with them, okay? And then mind you, down the street from there, my friend Savannah lives, okay? So, yeah. And a lot of people seeing me and Christopher in Orville. All my friends, some of my family see me in Orville with him, a bunch of stuff. I'm not naked, you freaking idiot. Anyways, so, and you need to be appropriate. Freaking weirdo. Anyways, and I'm in my room, by the way. I'm in my own house. Mind your business. And this video is age ranged, okay? It's for 20 and up. Anyways. So, where was I? So the officer continued to ask Christopher, "Are you being held against your will? Is she holding you against your will?" He said no. And that this is a bunch of bullshit. And that she's lying. Mind you, Christopher doesn't like speaking with the police. He doesn't like it. Okay? And mind you that she said she was 16. Okay? He was 28 years old already. So what is a 16-year-old doing in a grown man's fucking house? Okay? So I didn't bring that up to the officer at that time, which I should have. But I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. I wanted the officer to leave so I can grab my stuff and I can go. So mind you, after that, I left and I stayed gone. Okay? About 3 weeks later, after me being separated from him, mind you, after me leaving, 3 weeks after that, I get a call from the bank stating that I need to go down there to discuss some matters. I said, okay, that's fine. You feel me? So I go down there and they ask me, "Did you make this purchase? Did you make that purchase? Did you make this purchase?" There were like 4 purchases on there that I never made. So they asked me, do I know a Christopher? And then they said his last name. I said, yes, I do. Why? They said, can we show you something? I said, okay. So they proceed to show me the fact that he got into my Google account, okay, that was under my name, my real personal name, and my real personal account, okay, and he switched it to his name. Like, you know how it says address, your name? He changed it to his name, his address. Mind you. And proceeds to purchase stuff with my credit card. Mind you. So that's what they wanted to discuss to me about, was the fact that there were 4 or 5 purchases that he made in Orville. Because you gotta think that if you're making a purchase online, do you see this camera right here? This camera. You see this? The camera. That's what they're seeing. So if you're using somebody's credit card, they're seeing you. They're seeing you. Okay? Mind you. And with that being said, I completely got a new credit card. That's when the harassing started with her. Is when I changed the credit card information. That's when she really started stalking me, harassing me, trying to put my name out there, trying to do all these things, okay? And it became a problem to the point where she threatened my life because she stated that I was obsessed with him, when I was just trying to get away from him. Wasn't trying to be anywhere near him because of the abuse. You gotta think that he busted my eyelid, busted my eyebrow, busted my lip, and broke my hand because I wasn't doing what he wanted me to do. So I messaged Salvador and I let him know that me and this guy were over and that he was very abusive. And I did send a picture of Christopher to him because that's my Marine, and that's what I'm gonna do. So he told me to stay away from him. Salvador said, be done with him, you know, leave him alone, don't go anywhere near him, don't speak to him and his girl. I said, okay. So that's what I did. This girl continued to harass me online numerous times. I blocked her profiles. I blocked a bunch of stuff. She was hitting me up online, like on my Facebook and stuff. Numerous times when the comments were open, she was continuously harassing me on my fucking channel. Every time she'd be making these fake ass accounts, just continuously harassing because she was jealous of the fact that Christopher could not shut the fuck up about me. And that's what he was doing when I was with him, was he couldn't shut the fuck up about his other baby mama. His baby mama this, his baby mama that, his baby mama this, his baby mama that. You feel me? And it became a problem. And then I found out that she was pregnant with his kid. And that's when I really left him alone. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do this with you, leave me alone. You know, he kept trying to hit me up on the side, hey, I miss you, you know, all this weird crap, okay? Did I not state this? That My video is set for 20 and up, and I made sure of that before I set up my video and before I even push play. So you have to have an adult account in order to be on this live. Anyways, so with that being said, I left him alone. He kept making all these fake profiles saying, oh, I don't want to be with her, that's not my kid, blah blah blah. And I wasn't having it anymore. Okay, I just wasn't having it. So I got with another guy. Okay, and me and this guy knew each other for a very, very long time. I'm not gonna say his name on here or anything like that, but me and him knew each other for a very long time. And me and him were together for approximately, I'm gonna say a year before he really showed his side. What I found out was he was an alcoholic. Very, very, very abusive alcoholic. He started abusing me. I legitimately had to get a restraining order against him. And as I said, I literally had to go get a restraining order against him because he abused me. The officer is the one that filed it. Because at the time I was so injured, I wasn't able to file the restraining order because of how bad the injuries were. So the officer said, if you want me to file it, I will file it for you. And I said yes. So he went and proceeded to file the restraining order. So that was done. He was served when he was in jail. And from there, you know, she calls me. My Christopher's baby mama calls me. And, you know, she said, oh, he just wanted to talk to you. Like, why are you calling me to tell me he wants to talk to me after you've threatened me, you've harassed me, all this shit? It just doesn't make sense. And you know, from there, I asked her, like, because she kept harassing me. She kept fucking hitting up my profile. She kept doing this and that and this and that and this and that. And it became a fucking ongoing fucking thing, dude. It's like if somebody's broke up with this person, leave them the fuck alone. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You gotta think that this was all the way in 2019. It is already 2026 and she is continuing. It's like, what is your fucking obsession, dude? Jesus fucking Christ. And then she sent me a voicemail stating that she was going to have her family harm me. Mind you. What are these messages? What the hell is that? I don't know. Anyways, it's very weird because they're odd. But anyways, she just didn't know how to stop. Then she started making fake ass accounts, pretending to be me, stealing my content, and proceeding to be me, and messaging people that I knew, acting fucking weird as shit. I'm like, what the fuck is your obsession, dude? It's like if I'm done with somebody, I'm done with them. I don't want nothing to do with them. She, in her brain, she didn't want that to be true. I think she's also had a crush on me. She may be some lesbian, some fucking bisexual person. I don't know, man. Just fucking weird as hell. You know? Weird as shit. And then, when she sent me the voicemail of her saying that her family's a bunch of gangbangers and that she's going to have her family harm me, basically to the point where my family couldn't find me. Now, that's when I had to take legal action. That's when I 100% took legal action because she threatened to have her family harm me, which I still have an audio. I still have an audio. 100%. Mhm, 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 mhm. Mhm, 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 mhm. Um, People told me to put clothes on. I'm in my room, dude. So after that, me and my ex broke up. And mind you, before me and Christopher split up, I got him a dog. Okay, mind you, named him Nakota. Okay, and he's a really pretty dog, very pretty. Cost me about $56, dude. And he didn't know how to maintain the dog, you know. He wanted the dog and then didn't know how to take care of the dog. Okay. And then she started saying the dog was hers. Nakota wasn't hers. I paid for Nakota. That was my dog. And then Christopher wanted the dog, but didn't know how to, keep up with the dog. So he freaking messages me and says, come get this fucking dog, or, I'm going to leave it at the park. Why ask for a dog and then not know how to take care of it? Why ask for a dog if you can't take care of it? So I already had a dog, You can't have two dogs. Okay, unless you have a good reason to. Knock that off. So, after that, I got with a guy named Christian. Tall fella. Psychotic as hell, though. His name was Christian Ortiz. Crazy as hell. Batshit crazy. He did not like Christopher at all. Not one fucking bit did he like Christopher. So, mind you, I go to the mall, right? And Christopher's there. I didn't know he was gonna be there. And I don't know if him and what's her name was having an off thing going on. I don't fucking know. But legitly, Christian seen Christopher go in and then see me go in, so he thought that I was cheating. Christian comes out of bat out of fucking hell, telling me to get the fuck out the mall and get the fuck in the car. He dragged me out of the fucking mall, mind you. He dragged me out of the fucking mall, and he dragged me to the car. And legitly, that's what it was. So mind you, that's when she really started to go ballistic. That's when she really, really started to go ballistic. And I'm like, how is that on me? I can't control where the fuck he's going. You know, if we're not together, then I can't control where the fuck he's going. You feel me? And it started a whole mess. You gotta think that this has been going on for too fucking long. It's like I tried to stay away from her, and even I moved. The manager moved me to get me away from her. And she's continuing to stalk me. And when I took her to court to get the restraining order against her, mind you, they told me that, well, she was homeless at the time, so I couldn't get her address. Because if you're homeless, you can't really get a living address, and I don't know her. You feel me? I don't follow her around, so I didn't know where the fuck she was. So when I filed the restraining order, they said that we can't file the restraining order unless you have an actual address on her. And hi. So I couldn't get an actual restraining order on her because I didn't know her address. You know, I'm not a stalker. I don't know where the fuck she lived. So they said that I would have to hire an investigator to get her address. So I didn't know anything about any of that. They said I have to go down to that state that, or the city that she lived in. I'm not gonna say which city. But and then go down there and go ask them about and hire investigators to find out where she lived, all this stuff. And I honestly, I didn't know how to go about that. I went to like 4 different places. It was just this run around story. Oh, you have to go this place, you have to go that place, you have to go this place. I went to like 4 or 5 different places. At that time, I was like, I don't know how to do this, or they're just not, you know, I don't know. So I was like, you know, I'm fucking just gonna leave her alone, whatever. So they was denied because they told me I'd have to hire an investigator. So this is the thing with her. The minute someone tries to put a restraining order against her, she wants to run. She doesn't want to take accountability for her actions. She wants to run. So mind you, about last year, we're here, and I said hi. I said hi. And I'm getting out of the hospital. Okay, mind you, I have seizures. In 2024, I was assaulted by somebody else, and by a girl. She physically attacked me, and I got severely hurt, which left me with severe seizures, severe concussion, severe memory loss. Not you guys, be appropriate, okay? I'm in my room, not outside, anything like that. Stay appropriate. I'm talking about a serious matter here. So with that being said, where was I? Oh yes. So she continued to talk shit online. And yes, I did go off on her on my porch because, you know, I just got out of the hospital. I'm tired. I'm cranky. If you know anything about Keppra, it's called Keppra Rage. At that time, I knew nothing about Keppra Rage. I just knew that it made me mad that she was doing this. So she moved to the same apartment complex as me, mind you. In the same month that I was assaulted, mind you, mind you, that she moved to the same apartment complex as me over some time. She knew I lived here before she even moved here, because she was leaving letters and notes on my door. Okay? She's a creep weirdo. And with that being said, I did go off on her on my porch. I called her out for her bullshit. That's when she tried to act all hard, and that's when she went to the office stating that I was trying to, you know, attack her. And she called the police. The police came out to speak to me. I told the officers, I'm extremely tired. I just got out of the hospital a few days ago. She's continuously harassing me, stalking me. I told her to stop numerous times, even took her to court. I'm tired, you feel me? And I don't feel like dealing with this shit. And so the officers went to the office. Now, obviously told the manager at that time. At that time, mind you, we've gone through a few, maybe 5 different managers, okay? And the manager at the time gave me her address, gave me her door number. Okay. Then I did say it in a video only because this girl has verbally threatened my life. Okay. Verbally threatened to have her family harm me. So for my own safety, yes, I did give her address out. For my own safety, so my family could protect me. You feel me? The people that care about me can protect me. They can protect me. She went haywire ballistic. You gave out my address. Mind you that she wrote a guy named Monty. Okay, she wrote a guy named Mike Monty. And gave him my address. Okay. And she, at the time, she didn't know him. She never met him. Nothing of the sort. Okay. And she gave him my address before she even lived here, mind you. And I never gave her permission. And I never told her where I lived. So it's like, if you're not a stalker and you're not a weirdo, how did you know where I lived when I don't know her? I'm not friends with her. Never hung out with her. Never kicked it with her. Okay. And she continuously gave out my address to numerous strangers, including Mike. And it's like, you're complaining about me telling my family your address, but yet you gave my address to a complete stranger that you've never met. You don't know. Like, that was before she even lived here. And before she even lived here, she was leaving letters and notes on my door. Before calling somebody a stalker, that person would have to know where you live. Okay, mind you, she lived across town at this time. Don't know where, don't give a shit. All I know is that she lived across town. Okay? And it became a problem. Because it's like, if you're claiming that I'm a stalker, but I don't know where you live, that's why I couldn't put the actual restraining order on her. Why would you move into the same apartment complex as that person? It's like, hello, with the restraining order. If you don't want to file, if you do not want a restraining order against you, don't move to the same apartment complex as that person. Because eventually that person's going to find out where you live. You know? It's like, now the manager like the HUD manager legitimately transferred me to a new apartment to get away from her. Mind you, to get away from her. Mind you, she wasn't friends with any of these people on this side of the apartment complex before I moved over here. She never came over here, mind you. Never came over here. Never came over here. And all of a sudden I move over here. She starts to become friends with people around me. The units around me. So she can find out where I live. So she can watch me. That's how creepy this girl is. Fucking weirdo. And mind you, I guess she broke up with my ex, Christopher, saying that he abused her. He did this, he did that, and now she has a restraining order against him. Now she's trying to link me to that same restraining order when I said she had no right to be bringing me up in that restraining order. So, oh, if you go near him, that's a third party violation, blah, blah, blah. If I'm not anywhere near you, and I don't want anything to do with him, it's not third party anything. If I have to go down to the police station and ask them about this, I will gladly do so because I told her to leave me out of the restraining order. I'm not their girlfriend. Never was, never will be. So what happened with me and Christopher is between me and Christopher. Whatever happened between her and Christopher has everything to do with her and Christopher. I should not be involved in that. But she's trying to involve me. It has nothing to do with me. I told her specifically, leave me out of that restraining order. And if she did involve me, I will press legal action. Because she had no right to be bringing me up in something that had everything to do with her and Christopher. Not the three of us. There was no fucking threesome. Okay? I was not dating her. I was not dating him at the time of this restraining order being placed. Did he try to talk to me? Yes, he did. And I chose to ignore him. That's not violating anything. And since I don't have a restraining order against him, that's not violating anything. But she's saying that he violated a restraining order. What did he violate? Because he spoke to me? I don't have a restraining order against him. You do. I don't. I don't. You feel me? So her saying, oh yeah, he broke the restraining order, you broke the restraining. I didn't break shit. If I have to go down to the police station and ask them about this, I will gladly do so with my social worker. If I choose to ignore him and walk away, that's called a choice. But see, she wants control over people. That's the problem with her. She's a control freak. She wants everything to go her way. If it doesn't go her way, she goes ballistic. She goes ballistic. Leave me out your life. I was never your girlfriend. I've never dated you. I've never been your friend. Never kicked it with you. Leave me out of your life. But every time she doesn't get what she wants, she's screenshotting my profiles. When I'm not showing her attention, she goes ballistic, crying around. Like me and Mike are going through a few things right now. And she's getting jealous. Okay? This girl's really getting jealous because I'm showing someone else attention. Anytime I'm showing someone else attention, she gets mad. She gets pissed. It's like, you need to move on with your life. Stop going on my page. Stop screenshotting shit like we're no longer in high school, dude. It's weird. And she continuously tries to write people or talk to people that I know about me. She goes, I'm not doing that. So you didn't write Mike about me? You didn't write Mike about me? Because she did. It's like, if that's between me and Mike, that's between me and Mike. That doesn't involve you. But she feels the need to involve herself in every little thing I do. If I'm going to the fucking store, mind you, I go to the fucking mall, mind you, and she completely makes it about her. I go to Winco, she makes it about her. I'm talking to my social worker, she makes it about her. Anything I do to better my life, she makes it about her. It's like, you need some severe fucking help, chick. Severe help. Like, I have evidence of her leaving notes on my door. I have evidence of her threatening me. I have evidence of her giving out my address to a complete stranger that she didn't know. Mind you, I have evidence of her threatening me, doing just a bunch of stuff. It's like, you need some severe fucking help. You know, get help.